Ciao everyone! Today we are in Piazza Navona, but we are going to explore a hidden gem which is just near Piazza Navona. So are you ready? All you need to do is turn this way and go that direction. The hidden gem that we're going to explore today is Palazzo Altemps. All we need to do is to enter that door. After we get the ticket, we finally enter inside the palace. So what's the story of this palace? Palazzo Altemps was built in the 1400s by the nephew of Pope Sixtus IV, which is the same pope that built the Sistine Chapel. Later on, this palace changed property and it became property of a cardinal, whose name was Cardinal Altemps, and that's where the name comes from, Palazzo Altemps. In the 1500s, the Cardinal Altemps chose this palace as his private residency, and he started decorating it with beautiful frescoes all over and an incredible collection of ancient Roman statues. Today this palace is a museum, and it's a museum hosting not just the collection of the Cardinal Altemps, but also other collections from other noble families of Rome. So now let's go and let's start exploring. First we go upstairs, and one of the first things we see here is this beautiful balcony. Look at this. On the top, if you look up, you can see beautiful frescoes with vegetation, fruits, plants, birds, and then we have marble statues of ancient Roman emperors, angels, little nymphæums, and then if we look down, we can see the courtyard where we were just a few minutes ago. But now let's start exploring the collection. Let's enter this room, and here we see two of the major highlights of this museum. One of them is this incredible ancient Roman statue, the Suicide Gaul. What does this represent? So here we have a soldier, which is the one standing, who's been defeated by his enemies. He has no choice but killing himself not to fall into his enemy's hands. This statue freezes the very moment where he's about to kill himself after he already killed his wife, so that none of them will be captured by their enemies. Next to this, we have this giant sarcophagus. What does this represent? This is a battle between the ancient Romans and the barbarians. Look at the endless amount of details. How many characters are filling the scene? Everything sculpted in marble. Here we have another room with beautiful decorations on the walls and the ceilings. And as we enter, we also have more statues. Here we have the statue of Aphrodite, which corresponds to Venus, the goddess of love and beauty. And then right next to it, we have instead the statue of Cupid, love, and Psyche. Next room, here we find a giant head of the goddess Hera, which in Rome was Juno, the goddess of marriage and family. This head must have been a part of a whole body statue, so imagine as a whole how giant the whole statue must have been. When you visit Palazzo Altemps, it is incredible how room after room is wonder after wonder. Who's this? This is the god Mars, the god of war, which in the Greek version was called Ares. Look at his posture, his muscles that we can see through his skin, very realistic. Here instead we have a sitting soldier, which has a sword in his hand and looks a little bit melancholic. I think it's safe to say that what we've seen so far is already enough to plan a visit to Palazzo Altemps. Now let's continue with the gods. What's in this room? Here we have, for example, Heracles, Hercules, the strongest of the divine heroes. And then next to it we have the god Asclepius, which is the god of medicine. Asclepius is always represented with this wooden stick with a rolling snake around it, because that's a symbol of medicine. In fact, I'm pretty sure you've seen this already in pharmacies, in hospitals. That's the symbol of medicine, and that's where it comes from. Not only ancient statues, this museum also collects fragments of ancient Roman interior walls. What I mean is the frescoes that were inside the houses, the ancient Roman houses. We can only see parts of these, but still you can get an idea of how precious these houses must have been inside. You need to imagine that the ancient Roman domus, with domus I mean the house, had way less furniture than we have today in our houses, but on the other side it had a lot of decorations painted in the walls, a little bit opposite as today. Last but not least, as always, Rome never stops being a lasagna of history. In fact, during the renovation works below Palazzo Altemps, these ruins were found. These ruins used to be the walls of an ancient Roman domus, an ancient Roman house. And over there we also have some fragments of the frescoes decorating these walls inside. Look at how vibrant these colors still are today. So I hope you enjoyed this tour of Palazzo Altemps. This was only a little preview of the so many things that you can see in this place, so I'll leave something for you to visit and see in person. So make sure you add this place to the bucket list. And don't forget to subscribe and follow Live Virtual Guide on social media for more Rome content. Ciao!